I must warn you, due to graphic materials, viewers' discretion is advised. Now, this is a continuation of the event that happened in the last series about the atrocity of the Gibeathites. Let's begin, shall we? The scripture stated that all the sons of Israel, from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, including the land of Gilead, came out, and the congregation assembled as one man to the Lord at Mizpah. The chiefs of all the people of all the tribes of Israel presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 men on foot who drew the sword. Now the Benjamites, in whose territory the crime was committed, heard that the other tribes of the sons of Israel had gone up to Mizpah, and the sons of Israel said, "How did this evil thing happen?" Then the Levite responded,
I had come with my concubine to spend the night in Gibeah, a town which belongs to the tribe of Benjamin. But the men of Gibeah rose up against me and surrounded the house at night because of me. They intended to take my life, but instead they violated my concubine so brutally that she died. So I took my concubine and cut her corpse in pieces and sent her body parts throughout the land of the inheritance of Israel. For the men of Gibeah have committed a lewd and disgraceful act in Israel. Now then, all you sons of Israel, all of you, give your advice and counsel here regarding what should be done.
Then all the people stood unified as one man, saying,
None of us will go to our tent, and none of us will return to our home until this is settled. But now, this is the thing which we will do to Gibeah. We will go up by lot against it, and we will take 10 men out of 100 throughout the tribes of Israel, and 100 out of 1,000, and 1,000 out of 10,000, to bring provisions for the men, so that when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, they may punish them for all the despicable acts which they have committed in Israel.
So all the men of Israel assembled against the city, united as one man. Then the tribes of Israel sent men through the entire tribe of Benjamin, saying, "What is this evil thing that has been done among you? Now therefore turn over the men involved, these worthless and wicked men in Gibeah, so that we may put them to death and remove this wickedness from Israel." But the Benjamites would not listen to the voice of their brothers, the sons of Israel. Then the tribe of the sons of Benjamin gathered from the cities to Gibeah, to go out to battle against the other sons of Israel. And the Benjamites assembled out of their cities at that time 26,000 men who drew the sword, besides the inhabitants of Gibeah, who assembled 700 chosen men. Out of all these people were 700 choice left-handed men. Each one could sling stones at a target no wider than a hair and not miss. Then the men of Israel, other than Benjamin, assembled 400,000 men who drew the sword. All of these were men of war. The men of Israel arose and went up to Bethel and asked of God and said, "Which of us shall take the lead to battle against the sons of Benjamin?" And the Lord said, "Judah shall go up first." Then the fighting men of the sons of Israel arose in the morning and camped against Gibeah. The men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin and assembled in battle formation against them at Gibeah. The sons of Benjamin came out of Gibeah and struck to the ground on that day 22,000 fighting men of Israel. But the people, the fighting men of Israel, took courage and strengthened themselves and again set their battle line in the same place where they formed it the first day. The sons of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening, and asked of the Lord, "Shall we advance again to battle against the sons of our brother Benjamin?" And the Lord said, "Go up against them." So the sons of Israel came against the sons of Benjamin the second day. And the fighting men from the tribe of Benjamin went out of Gibeah against them the second day, and again struck to the ground the sons of Israel 18,000 men, all of whom were swordsmen. Then all the sons of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept. And they sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until evening, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the sons of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there at Bethel in those days, and Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, ministered before it in those days, saying, "Shall I yet again go out to battle against the sons of my brother Benjamin, or shall I quit?" And the Lord said, "Go up, for tomorrow I will hand them over to you." So Israel set men in ambush around Gibeah. The fighting men of the sons of Israel went up against the sons of Benjamin on the third day, and placed themselves in battle formation against Gibeah as at other times. The Benjamites went out against their army and were lured away from the city, and they began to strike and destroy some of the people as at other times on the highways, one of which goes up to Bethel and the other to Gibeah, and in the open country about 30 men of Israel. And the Benjamites said, "They are defeated before us, as at the first." But the sons of Israel said, "Let us flee and lure them away from the city to the highways." Then all the men of Israel got up from their places and placed themselves in battle formation at Baal Tamar. And the men of Israel who were in ambush rushed from their place in the plain of Maareh Geba. When the 10,000 choice fighting men from all Israel came against Gibeah, the battle was hard and fierce, but the Benjamites did not realize that disaster was about to strike them. And the Lord struck down the tribe of Benjamin before Israel, so that the sons of Israel destroyed 25,100 men of Benjamin that day, all of whom were swordsmen. So the Benjamites realized that they were defeated. Then men of Israel gave ground to the Benjamites, because they relied on the men in ambush whom they had placed against Gibeah. The same men that was in ambush quickly rushed and attacked Gibeah, and the men in ambush also deployed and struck the entire city with the edge of the sword. Now, the appointed signal between the men of Israel and the men in ambush was that they would make a great cloud of smoke rise from the city. So the men of Israel turned in the battle, and Benjamin began to strike and destroyed about 30 men of Israel, for they said, "Certainly they are defeated before us, as in the first battle." But when the signal cloud began to rise out of the city in a column of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the entire city went up in smoke to heaven. When the men of Israel turned back again, the men of Benjamin were terrified, for they saw that disaster had fallen upon them. Therefore, they turned their backs before the men of Israel and fled toward the direction of the wilderness. But the battle followed and overtook them. As the fighting men of the sons of Benjamin ran among them, the Israelites of the cities came out and destroyed them. They surrounded the men of Benjamin, pursued them relentlessly, and overtook them opposite Gibeah toward the east. Thus 18,000 men of Benjamin fell, all of these brave and able warriors. The survivors of Benjamin turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and Israel caught 5,000 of them on the roads and overtook them at Gidom and destroyed 2,000 of them. So all of Benjamin who fell that day were 25,000 men who drew the sword, all of them brave and able warriors. But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and stayed at the rock of Rimmon for 4 months. The men of Israel turned back against the tribe of the sons of Benjamin, and struck them with the edge of the sword, both the entire city of Gibeah and the livestock, and all that they found. They also set on fire all the surrounding towns which they found. Like, share and subscribe for more interesting series.